Guys, what's going on? This is the New York Charizards, continuing my recap of my draft league experience in the UBL Draft Season 3, brought to you by the Pokemon Battle and Trade Community. And so now it is Week 15. We are going up against the Inglewood Incineroars, coached by an opponent with a reputation for being one of the most solid and defined all-around players. Frank Gonzalez. He's definitely garnered a reputation in the group. He's an admin, and he's also a regular, consistent battler. So this is probably going to be my most difficult match of the season to have prepared for. Although there are things that may make this match seem winnable, this guy knows his stuff. So I'm in for a fight. I'm definitely in for a fight, especially looking at these teams. He's got Keldeo. He's got Mega Medicham, one of the most powerful Megas in the game. Banned in the Monotype, but definitely allowed in OU, and so it's legal in this. Pelipper, I knew he was gonna bring that because he has been leaning on his Quillfish. His Quillfish has been a top contender for a number of KOs on the leaderboard, and he's done plenty of good work with it. This is his Swift Swimmer, so Rain. Never bad to go with Rain. Ditto, the infamous Revenge Killer. I just need to get a sweep started with something, and he can steal it and end me. So I need to watch carefully. But overall, I mean, he did not bring Ditto. He did not bring Muck. He did not bring Emboar, and he did not bring Dugtrio and Keldeo. But Nidoking, very diverse elemental coverage. Lets him hit anything he wants for the most part. As long as he prepped it right for the build I would bring. So yeah, he brought Piloswine. Interesting one. I believe he threw rocks with that one. And then Medicham. He's leading. This is turn 1. He's leading with Medicham. I lead with Kamo. I know he's gonna go for Fake Out. He wants to at least get some damage going. I did not want to lead Lando with this one because in case he leaded with the Ice Punch, I would have been in trouble. I did not want to lose Lando when Lando could have been a decisive factor in this game. I'm looking at this team, and he's got three physical attackers. His special attack in front isn't as powerful, but Nidoking can still carry the team on his back. So gotta be extra cautious about Nidoking, Quillfish, and definitely Mega Medi. Now I cannot outspeed it normally, so I opted for the Scarf, and I just go with the best move that I've got, which was Outrage. And this is where my Providence was. He missed his high jump kick, which threw off his momentum and ultimately his mentality. Losing one of his biggest guns like that, I know that feeling. Um, if it was me, I'd be discouraged too that I lost one of my most valued mons on a 10% chance of missing. So it takes the crash damage, and that is the end of his Mega Cham. I apologize that was the outcome because that high jump kick would definitely have cleaned Como out. So I use Outrage, but the Eviolite and most likely HP and maybe defensive invests are standing strong. He throws Stealth Rocks. He's trying to chip things, but seeing as he's Eviolite and not leftovers, he can't recover. So he goes for the Roar. He's trying to chip me. This could have gone to Charizard. It could have been bad, but it didn't. Now I've got Klefki up. I throw a Reflect. He throws an Earthquake. I throw a Suicune in there. And he responds with another Earthquake. I believe I went for a heavier defensive invest in this one. I throw a Substitute in case he has a Toxic, but Roar penetrates right through Substitute. Maybe I should have used Soundproof on it, because I believe Soundproof does nullify the effects of Roar. And our chief and head of the league, Mr. Darian Cosico Tran, has joined us. This one, probably to anticipate one of the biggest matches of the season, a battle of monsters going on. This guy had previously gone with a 6-win sweep, especially with this where this point had begun with the rain. So Darian made it just in time to potentially see Frank clean me out. So I use Outrage, need to get some damage going. I throw another Outrage. He goes for the Roost. That means I can only throw another Outrage, and I need to get out of there. But he's also getting out of there. In doing so, though, he lost a couple turns of rain, so we'll see how that pans out. He goes for the Sludge Wave. Wow. Now, I decided Kamo has done what he needed to do, deliver. I had put in Kamo to try and soften up his team the best I could, which I achieved to an extent. I did, even though he recovered some, I did manage to dent his Pelipper, and I did dent his Nidoking. So Nidoking's gonna kill, and given that it's faster than my Scarf Kamo, I'm assuming that this is where I realize that he is also Scarf, and where I planned poorly for in the case of one mon, although it did achieve some goal, because Kartana, I believe he feared the Scarf. Now Frank is a very careful and analytical player, so he feared the Scarf, and this is the one time I did not bring a Scarf. I brought Band Kartana because I felt maybe I could outpace most of his mons. So this is where now his Rotom can no longer do much recovery unless he uses Pain Split. So I get out of there because I'm afraid he might try to Will-O-Wisp me and end my advance, and there he does. He wants to try and shut down Kartana and stop him from sweeping. But I've kind of overplayed my hand a bit by revealing the fact that I was a Band and not a Scarf. So this is still very much anyone's game. He's still got his Quillfish waiting in the wings. He now has a Scarf Nidoking, which can beat my Band Kartana. Excuse me. Now his Rotom, I'm assuming, is just a large support. So he's using Quillfish. I throw a Toxic to try and break Big Rotom, but I honestly expected a Volt Switch to do some momentum damage on the way out. But I'm assuming he was concerned about speed. But now he is Quillfish without rain, so he goes back into Pelipper, and I steal his rain advantage to boost my Scald attack, and because Pelipper is not a specially bulky mon, the Scald will do more damage and end his rain advance, or rather end his rain setting, but he still has Quillfish to lean on for rain. Now, I've got a slight lead, but it is still anyone's game because I've already overplayed my hand. As like I said, I overplayed my hand a bit. So now I can't poison this guy. I also can't afford to lose anything else I have to Quillfish, because Quillfish will run right through everything I've got. So he takes his chance to Swords Dance up and put me in a bind. So I'm going for Scald because I'm in the rain. Scald can still burn water mons. So he goes for the Poison Jab, which doesn't quite kill. Thank you, Suicune, for living through that. And I take the chance to throw another Scald. He throws another Poison Jab. And I throw Kartana because because I'm assuming he's just got Water and Poison move, and I think he had Poisonium Z, because or he might have had Waxterium, but either way, he did not use it. So he went for the Liquidation because obviously Poison Jab wouldn't be no point to it. So I went for the Psycho Cut. I brought that because for the most part, I can use Psycho Cut to hit a lot of things on his team. But he didn't bring Muck, so otherwise that would have been bad. I get a Beast Boost. Now, at this point, he's got me. He knows that I was gonna. He knows what my Kartana is, and so in doing so, he lost his what was it? He lost his going back and seeing which one was it? Oh yeah, he let Kamo take a yeah, he had Kamo or he let his Rotom, that's right. He had his Rotom take the hit. And that gauged what item I had. So And now we're back, and now he's gonna exploit his scarf to finish the job, and so there goes Kartana. And now I go into Klefki because I can absorb his ice. I throw up. I throw some light screen up. I throw reflect up. He throws a Will-O-Wisp to try and keep me on defensive. Good move, good move. He throws another Will-O-Wisp, but I'm not about to let him anticipate that. But there, I see that my foul play won't do much, so time to go into Zard. He throws an Electro Web, and that really, really hurts. He uses Volt Switch to go into Piloswine. I should have probably Dragon Danced up. Had I done that, I think actually no, I would have still been vulnerable to uh, to the Scarf Nidoking. So he played that well. Played that really well. The Electro Web intercept because he saw that I could do that. Like I said at the beginning, he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing, and thus I'm relying on the fact that I'm running a team of monsters. Uh, and that is probably what was my saving grace in this fight. Because now the score is tied, and he effectively forced me to stick with Zard. And if I don't try to kill this thing now, he could potentially roar it out. So then Zard is sealed off because the rocks will chip away at least as a fire dragon will chip away now at least 24%, 24, 25%. So I needed to let Charizard essentially die. I'm sorry. But I did manage to take out his Piloswine. I did open the gates, unfortunately, to his Nidoking. His Nidoking throws the Ice Beam. I bring in Klefki. He can't attack me. He can. Now I throw foul play because Ice. Now at this point, I'm going to throw a Light Screen up. He's trying to Will-O-Wisp me to intercept, and this is where I think if had this game, I think at this point like it could have ended as a game of cat and mouse where I switch, he switches, I switch, he switches, and becomes a battle of attrition. But ultimately, I switch in, and I I have he misses his Will-O-Wisp, but it's only a matter of time. So to stop his Nidoking from coming back in, I go Rock Polish. Now I am double his speed. Of course, if this thing uses HP Ice, I could still be in trouble. Uh, but I guess he didn't have HP Ice. Okay, Stone Edge. Yes, thanks a lot, Stone Edge. Now Rotom, I believe Rotom Heat is largely run as a special bulk, and given that he had Piloswine and Pelipper out there, I think that was the case. So a Stone Edge would have done the job. But also I had a Double Dance, so I could have. So since his electric attacks don't work on the ground flying, and I don't believe he has any fire attacks, I'm going to Swords Dance up, which essentially cancels out the burn damage, and I have no intention of switching anytime soon. So I want to clear his Rotom off the board. So and I don't feel like trying to land another Stone Edge. So in that case, I go straight for my Z move, but Continental Crush, since Rock is one of those types that will definitely hit its target, and there are no immunities to Rock. It didn't take out Rotom, but I mean taking out Nidoking and for the most part ended his advance, and because at this point his Rotom does not have an ice move, does not have HP Ice, then it means Lando just needs to land a single Stone Edge, and that, as they say, would have been that. So Frank had to forfeit. Was a solid game all around, very, very challenging, and it led with a sour note with that high jump kick missing, which was unfortunate. It might have set a different tone for the game, but it was a very solid match. So great game, Frank. Hope, and yeah, that concludes week 15.